Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different twists and turns, as well as surprises in this film that'll take us back to both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, and view those movies in a completely different way by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So what's really great about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film really is going to have a lot of revelations that are going to also have a lot of saga-wide implications. That means basically we are going to look back at the other past films in the Skywalker saga in a different way and exactly where the characters stand within the Star Wars universe. Now these past couple of weeks or so we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now specifically a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren entering an abandoned First Order base that is said to have once belonged to Supreme Leader Snoke before the events of Episode 7. It's described that Kylo and the Knights infiltrate what is described to be Snoke's vault that was stored inside of the abandoned headquarters of the First Order, where Ren eventually comes across a control panel that allows him to initiate a hologram of Supreme Leader Snoke, where the Snoke hologram is revealing that he believes the dark presence he feels that is hiding in the unknown regions is the same power of Darth Sidious and that he is alive somewhere in the galaxy. It's described that the hologram was recorded well before The Force Awakens, and that Snoke also reveals in the hologram that the power has been trying to reach out to him and connect with him, where Snoke reveals that he will search for this power. It said that in the hologram Snoke didn't have many injuries but the one on top of his head, and appears to be far younger. It said that the scene is used to set up the story of Palpatine in the film that eventually unfolds in the third act of the movie. So let's go over a couple of things about this. Now, first things first, we do know that there are going to be a lot of surprises in this movie, not just with Emperor Palpatine, but also with the other characters from The Force Awakens and, of course, The Last Jedi. So I want to go over the abandoned First Order headquarters and/or this base that actually includes a hologram of Supreme Leader Snoke that is eventually initiated and/or activated, I should say, by, of course, Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren. So, what's really intriguing to me the most about this is that Snoke reveals indirectly in the form of a hologram that he has actually felt this dark presence rising, and that this power actually matches the power to that of Darth Sidious, and that this power is something that Snoke is going to go searching for. So, during the time of the recording of the hologram, it's described that Snoke didn't have any injuries really, all but the one on top of his head. So this most likely implies that this takes place, let's say for example, 5 to 10 years before the events of The Force Awakens. I think that's fair to say, right? Now, when we think about, Emperor Palpatine, the fact that J.J. Abrams, is bringing back Ian McDiarmid, the fact that, there are a lot of, discussions out there about how he's going to be used in the film, we do know that the spirit of Sidious is going to be used in some way, shape, or form in the second and third acts of the film in a very unique way. I think that's going to really be something very shocking to the audience. So the other piece that I do want to go over, though, is, of course, how Snoke reveals in this hologram that he actually felt this power from afar in the unknown regions. So this power that matches the power of Darth Sidious is actually located over in the unknown regions. And in case you guys did not know, we've been going over this for a while now, is that the unknown regions has a deep connection to the Beyond. Now the Beyond is this location in the galaxy that holds the origins of the dark side and all these different pathways to the dark, and I think that what they're trying to do is that they're really trying to introduce a different medium of the Force. We have the light, we have the dark, and now we're going to have something else entirely new that really allows a Force-sensitive or a Force-sensitive individual, whatever have you, to bring themselves on a path to powers that have never been seen before on the big screen. And I think that's going to be a very interesting touch for the Star Wars franchise of what Snoke is indirectly revealing to, of course, Kylo Ren. Now, in this hologram, what's really intriguing, though, is that Snoke actually explains that he's going to go searching for this dark power. He's going to go searching for Darth Sidious. And I think that, when we look at Snoke in both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, you can see that he has a lot of injuries, not just on his face, but also all over his body. And if you guys go ahead and, look at, some of the other material out there, the canon material, they've explained that Snoke even has a lot of these spinal injuries. I mean, it's crazy stuff. So In this hologram, it's described that he's far younger, with barely any injuries, just the one on top of his head. However, what really intrigues me the most is that yes, he comes back alive after going to the unknown regions or going over to the beyond, wherever he may have actually gone to discover this power. He comes back with these injuries from what it seems. It's very possible that since the Dark Acolyte in this movie is associated with the spirit of Sidious, that it's very possible that Snoke actually eventually became, associated with the spirit of Sidious as well before the Acolyte. It's a big possibility, and I think what JJ is really trying to do here with this film is that everything related to the Snoke hologram obviously is going to be a way in order to really introduce new elements of Star Wars lore. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.